The In This League Podcast Network. In this ring, in this corner, Joe Pisapia. This corner, Tim Heaney. Gentlemen, let's go.
Let's start with the biggest news, which is obviously Charlotte and Asuka, who have, I think, one of the great chemistries in ring that I've seen anywhere of anyone in the last 5 years. Those two, yep. It's the difference in styles. It's the strong Japanese style kind of thing and all the holes that she does against the big spot Charlotte Flair, who, you know, is very fluid in the ring, and one is very, you know, kind of explosive. It is a marvel to watch. I think, for my money, I would rather watch those two in women's wrestling fight each other than any other two. Is that a hot take, or are you on board with that?
No, it's pretty much aligned with what I think. Even Charlotte and Becky, the chemistry's not at that level of just fluidity of in-ring work.
Which is weird, because they never worked together before last year.
Yeah, just sometimes you just get it with someone.
It's just brilliant. I mean, it's I gotta say, and it brings the best out of Asuka, and it makes, you know, because Asuka's had a look. We all know a lot of people were upset last night. It's been an inauspicious run for her in the WWE. She got the title match last year. She lost to Charlotte in an epic match, which was great. And then it kind of put a sour note on the rest of the night to come afterwards, which it's just a disappointing WrestleMania across the board. I had a feeling when I saw this match, and I was like, okay, they're going to give the belt to Charlotte, and they're going to do a unification, and that's what's going to happen, which, honestly, I like the storyline. I just hate it's at Asuka's expense.
Yep.
Do you think it's more important to unify this women's division and make it one title and get rid of the whole brand split stuff? And is that more important than Asuka's run?
It's kind of a lazy way to do it if you're doing it now. And the fact that Charlotte went over clean irritated me. 2 clean victories over Asuka kind of nerfs her a little bit. I get the fact that you want to have both belts involved in the biggest women's match probably ever. But I wish it wasn't just Asuka rolling over again, basically.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's very difficult because everybody, look, you love Asuka probably more than I do. I like her a ton. I think she's great. I still struggle with the whole promos thing. I struggle with the character. Is this an opportunity for her to go maybe to that other place, that evil Kana character she used to have, which was super interesting and dark? And, you know, you see on Impact Wrestling a couple like Rosemary and all these characters that are a little darker, and I think they would be better served if they're going to be edgier to maybe turn her in that direction. Like, let's give her something else. Let's make her more communicative in the ring and outside of the ring, perhaps with a persona, because right now she doesn't have a persona. She's just Asuka. Like, it's fine, but I'd rather her be something different. And I think turning heel or making her into an evil character again and kind of pulling those roots from her again, I think would be a welcome change for me anyway. I think that's her best shot at making it.
If you're splicing the women's divisions together, I get it, because you do need a little bit more of a stronger heel than Nia Jax types.
Well, how many heel women you got? You got Mandy?
Right. And that's, you know, not really much. Tamina, who cares? You know,
Tamina, who cares? You got Nia.
Nia, almost who cares, but there's still some heat there.
And you got Ronda. That's you know,
and who's leaving,
who's gone. So this is your opportunity here.
It makes sense. It really does. And if you have her just mowing through people again as a heel with no talk, with minimal talking, I think that's the way to build her back up. I just thought they were treating her as a heel, and then she kind of like was emotional and crying a little bit when she won. I don't know. I didn't see any promo afterwards or anything. Maybe she was still a heel there, but they kind of flipped her.
There was no promo afterwards. I don't know if there was one on the internet or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, there's nothing that I saw with that. And even if it was, I mean, that's one of those things about a Flair. You know, the Flairs are always emotionally invested in it. It matters to them.
I guess.
And every passing year, Charlotte gets better. And every passing year, she starts to become more and more like her father in so many ways that it's very endearing to me. And I'm at a point now where if they swerved me and put it on Charlotte and Charlotte won everything, because you know they love her, you know they want her to be the greatest of all time in the women's division. If they did that, it would not shock me at WrestleMania. I don't think it's what they want.
I don't think it's the right move, but
I don't think it's has it stopped them before?
No, it hasn't. But
I think it's a 30% chance. but it's not zero. Let's put it that way.
Definitely not zero. I would get.
I wouldn't even say it's a coin flip. I put it that 33 and a third. That's where I'm at with it right now.
That's fair. This needs to be Becky Lynch's moment because, as you and I have said, Charlotte is the best probably on track to be the best all time, and I think Becky needs this 1 year to really have her cemented moment. And I think Charlotte's gonna have too many of those that you don't need to do it right now.
Well, it's like the Dusty Rhodes thing too. You had, Dusty Rhodes kept losing to Ric Flair, but then you have to have a Dusty Rhodes run in order to make Ric Flair. You have to have the great foil in order to get to there. I'll tell you what. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see this feud between Becky and Charlotte roll on. I'd love to see it get to a point where maybe you get them to SummerSlam, and then that's when I'd like to bring that evil Asuka character. I'd love to do that. And I'd love to then spurn that feud off with her and Charlotte. And I'd like to have her get over on Charlotte as the evil character and then move on to Becky, because that'll slow play Becky Lynch. You can put her in a different feud here and there with somebody else. It'll be fine. But to me, if you slow play that right, it'll take you all the way through the Survivor Series with Asuka and Charlotte, and then Asuka going over and then facing Becky. And then you have a lot of choices. I think those three women in this as the top of the division is great. Mm-hmm. But keeping Asuka where she is, I feel like they did her a service by giving her the belt. Everybody was excited. So no, everybody likes her. The problem is it's not enough. I feel like it's not enough, Tim. They need that. She doesn't bring enough to the table then for their company and the image of their company besides the wrestling, which I know it sounds crappy, but it's true. It's damn true. They need something else from her. This is an opportunity. Now, one of two things are going to happen. She's either going to get buried and she'll be gone, which I don't think is what they want to do, or she turns into this evil character, and then that will also allow her to feud with Kairi Sane in the upcoming year, which would be great. Yeah,
it would be a good initiation for those people as well. I think your plan, it makes a lot of sense because she is best when she's just not having much much pomp and circumstance behind her and trying to make her be something she's not. And if you have writers that are going to embrace that about her, and if it actually gets approved that you could just have Asuka be this silent killer, then absolutely.
Plus there's no dark women characters. I mean, Nia Jax is just annoying. But there's no dark. There's no dark character. There's plenty of dark characters in the history of WWE. You got the Undertaker, you got the Bray Wyatts, you got all these characters over the years that have really Jake the Snake Roberts. It's given you some darkness. I'm trying to think of the great female dark character. And so far, we haven't had that.
Karma, maybe, but not Karma, maybe.
Yeah, but she was there for a second.
Yeah, I know.
That was the opportunity for it.
Yeah.
But Asuka has a real opportunity to carve out a niche here for herself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And I'm hoping that that's the route they're going. And, who knows? Maybe she'll even turn by WrestleMania. Maybe she'll cost Charlotte that match. It would be very surprising to not see her on WrestleMania at all.
It might be the damn Battle Royal, but
well, yeah. I think that would be a mistake too.
It'd be a huge mistake.
I'd rather her not be in it than be in the battle. Are they doing the women's Battle Royal again?
Haven't had an announcement. I'm guessing they'll throw it together.
See, I don't think they will, because they've got that 4-way tag team match.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, you're right.
And then the 3 women. I don't think they're doing that this year. I think they heard a lot of flack from last year's too long WrestleMania. The pre-show starting at 6. Mm-hmm. Show starts at 7, so they're gonna go 4 and change. But I don't. This is not going to be like a 5-hour action spectacular like last year. Last year, pre-show started at 5, I think.
Yeah, it was much earlier than
East Coast. It was crazy. It was absolutely. It was like WrestleMania starts on Thursday and ends sometime Sunday at midnight. Like, it's crazy.
Well, I heard the WrestleMania pre-show actually started after Fastlane ended.
Actually, just started. Yeah. So look, I know there's some people who are unhappy about this.
I'm one of them, but I want to see an end to a means here.
Okay, so speaking of ends, is this we have the women's tag team belt moving back and forth between shows. Mm-hmm. The obvious possibility for ratings sake too, wanting to have Becky Lynch be able to be on both shows,
right, when
she wins, which is smart. So are we basically just working closer and closer? And we saw Samoa Joe on Raw this week facing Kurt Angle. Right. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a lot of people start to bounce back and forth without a lot of rhyme or reason. So is this basically like their soft version of, and the brand split's done?
It would make sense to do it seamlessly. It's a good idea to kind of have not much. Oh, by the way, everybody, the brand split's done.
I like it better than doing it that way.
Work it naturally is better.
If you do that, then what do you do with the WWE title? I think you get rid of it.
Universal or WWE title?
The WWE title. Because the Universal, or I'll tell you what. The Universal title has been such an S show.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the one I would ditch.
Just ditch it and say, that's fine. Universal title, the thing never got off the ground. If there's no brand split, why does it have to be Universal, right?
Right.
You know what? That's probably the smarter way to go.